Hey, what's up, everybody? It's October. It's time to talk some, you guessed it, Halloween. I'm Nick Push, joined as always, as usual, by my co host, Bud from the Shape of Horror podcast. Bud, what's going on, man?
Dude, it's just been an absolute fucking train wreck today. Like work, getting set up for this,
That's
like
all the more,
none of my equipment works. Like, I mean, I've been on here for what, 2 weeks at this point? Like,
something like that.
you'd think you would think that AirPods would work with an iMac, but who knew? But I'm
Well,
I'm glad to be
you're
here,
here.
ready to talk
You're here.
Halloween, but I'm a little
Yeah,
little
you're
pissed
on
off,
one.
Nick.
You're on one right now. That's going to be good.
Yeah.
A good segue to just rip
I
into the
don't know if people have
franchise.
I don't know if people have really seen Bud pissed off. I'm usually pretty easygoing,
You're usually a pretty calm guy. Yeah.
but
Yeah, you're
today,
you're a calm guy.
fucking levels up here, bro.
That works. That
Yeah.
works. So yeah, we've had some big news in the Halloween world lately, which is kind of surprising. Before we get to that, let's get to the chat, see what's going on. Allie is here. Happy Hump Day. Yes, it is Wednesday. Blake's in the house. Blake agrees with me. Hubie Halloween is fun. Dude, I love Hubie Halloween. Just a fun movie. Have you seen Hubie Halloween?
Absolutely not. Is it Adam Sandler,
What?
right? It's Adam
Yeah, it's
Sandler,
Adam
right?
Sandler.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just a fun, heartwarming Halloween movie.
I will. It's
Uh,
Netflix, so I will try to get on and check it out one of these days.
Byron Weaver's here. Hey, Byron, how you doing, man? Charles Thomas. Hey, Charles, how are you? Good to see you. Um, and Jay Gregory says they need to let me have the rights to the franchise. I have a perfect Halloween script that I wrote a year ago. Dude, I would love to see that. I would love to read that.
I love reading Halloween scripts, man. There are
I
a lot of good
remember
ones.
this is off topic, but I remember in the '90s when like Freddy vs. Jason was going nuts with the hype and stuff, like in the infancy of the internet. I remember reading like Freddy vs. Jason, all these Freddy vs. Jason scripts. It was fun
Hmm.
as hell, man. Like they were just some of them were just crazy. So yeah, I'm with you. I love reading shit like that. It's cool. So what's going on in the Halloween world? So last week we had kind of, I don't know if I want to call it bombshell, because I think I said in the video I made it's kind of like it's kind of duh. Well, no shit that's happening, but Trancas is shopping the rights to the franchise, right? So we had that going on. That's
Which
essentially
makes
kind
all
of
the
the cliff
sense
notes for.
makes all the sense in the world because you know
Yeah,
Hollywood's coming off a writer strike. They need content.
yeah.
Halloween's an established intellectual property, so it makes sense.
You can say what you want, but the franchise has made a shit ton of money recently, so it
Hmm.
absolutely makes sense. But before me and Bug get to kind of more of this and get to our thoughts, tell us in the chat, or if you're watching this after the fact, tell us in the comments what's the first thing you would want to see as far as content goes for the next Halloween, next Halloween thing, whether it's a video game, TV show, movie reboot, sequel to something. Tell us in the comments. Tell us in the chat. We're gonna kind of break down our thoughts and what we want to see. But make sure you're telling us in the comments as well if you're watching this after the fact.
Hmm.
In addition to that news, which we're going to talk about, we also had H45 this past weekend. I did not go, but I'm pretty sure you would have told me if you went, right?
No, I didn't go.
Yeah, I wish I could have. Looked like people had a good time. I'm going to pull up some pictures here,
Oh,
but if you
cool,
mind,
cool.
they're just like three random pictures I popped up of just some of the events at H45. So I'm gonna pull them up right now, real quick here. So first one here, and yes, I'm covering us up. I'm giving you guys a break from us. But
Please.
here we got. It looks like these are all the male cast members, male participants at H45. I don't think I see any females in there
I see
except
old.
for the
Well,
young Michael
I see
Myers.
old Dick Warlock and little. Yeah. What's his name?
Yeah,
Daig.
Nick Castle. Yeah, it's something. Tom Morga looks like he's there. James Jude Courtney, obviously. Aaron Armstrong. A lot of them I don't recognize.
Christopher Nelson. I think he's in the back.
Christopher
Right,
Nelson.
right behind Warlock.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so a lot of people in that picture. It looked like a good time. Kind of cool photo op there. Was anyone in the chat? Were any of you guys lucky enough to go to H45? I'm jealous. I think Entertainment Wizard, who
Yeah, he
shows up
did.
once in a while, he went. But yeah, I'm jealous. That would have been cool to experience. All right, two more pictures. One more here. Here's a second last one. Over on the right, we got James Jude Courtney and Rowan Campbell together either flipping off the camera or flipping off us Halloween fans, something like that. Either way, it's kind of a cool picture. And then over on the other side, we got Nick Castle, Malik Akkad, and the man himself showed up. Somehow they dragged him, the 3 miles he lives away from the convention center. They were able to drag John Carpenter there. So that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And the final picture is something I just want to talk about. I want you to help me break this down. All right. Okay. Break down this picture for me. Okay.
Okay.
Do you know who that is? Do you know who all three of them are?
So that's obviously Dan Chalice himself, Tom Atkins.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the one on one of these? Has to be the little fruit that got his head blown up in the pumpkin, right?
And okay, that's one guess.
Is that one of them? I don't know.
No, it's not.
No,
it's Frank and Darren. It's Frank and Darren from the Slaughtered Lamb podcast. Another YouTube channel.
Well, I was close. Damn, I had no idea.
You're close. Darren, yeah, that's a good description of Darren. But yeah, there was some drinking event where you could drink at the Halloween 3 bar with Tom Atkins, which is pretty fucking cool. So I stole that from Darren. Actually, he posted it on his Twitter page. So I stole it from him. He'll probably be pissed off because our mutual friends say he has quite a temper. But I thought that was a cool picture. I just kind of wanted to share it. Like I'm so jealous, that they got to have a beer with Tom Atkins.
You get him drunk enough to get him to come to Santa Mira with you, right?
Right. Doesn't take much. You give up his kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So what other? So we talked about the rights being shopped. What other news kind of dropped here? I think a video game was mentioned, right? Casually mentioned.
And so I didn't read the entire quote or understand. Like, did he outright say video game?
I believe so.
Because, yeah, believe it or not, I've been off the face of the earth in the worst place on earth.
In West Texas. Usually you're the one that knows everything.
Yeah, man, I was traveling over the weekend, and this all broke. I didn't even get to see it, but I think that's good news about a video game because we know Friday the 13th had a successful game, even though it kind of died a slow death due to rights issues. And then they just released Texas Chainsaw Massacre, made by the same guys. So there's obviously a market for that. You have Dead by Daylight, so many horror video games. So I think it's good for Halloween. If they do anything to enter the video game space, I think people are looking forward to that. Because all we really have to go on is that shitty 1980s Atari video game. So this is good news, I believe.
Yeah.
And I know you're not a video game guy, Nick, so I don't know. Is this going to it's going to get you to buy a PlayStation or an Xbox or whatever. It's going to bring you in.
Probably not. To tell you how much I like video games, besides like Madden, my favorite video game of all time is Super Mario Brothers 3 for regular Nintendo. So
it's the only Mario Brothers game I never beat. The only one.
You never beat that? You could beat that in like 6 minutes with the whistles or whatever. But yeah, I think a video game would be cool. I think it'd be good for the franchise. But I guess what would you want that to entail? So now, correct me if I'm wrong, because like we just said, I'm not the video game expert here.
Mm-hmm.
I've never played Friday the 13th. I've never played Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But I was thinking it'd be cool if you could have some type of like Grand Theft Auto open world game in like Halloween where you're interacting with, characters from different timelines, whether it's the people in the Thorn trilogy, you go one area, you got Laurie from Halloween 78, you go to another area, you got Rachel. How would that work? Do you know?
I imagine what they'll do is they'll follow pretty much what Texas Chainsaw Friday the 13th did. I don't know how an open world game would work. Maybe as like a single player thing, but then maybe you could throw some, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
probably
I think, you know, throwing some maps together, like I don't know what would it like. I don't, I'm trying like the hospital. You could do the street where the Doyles and the Wallaces live. Throw, you know, there's so many locales you can use. Um,
yeah.
you could
You
even
go
throw
up to Santa Mira.
exactly. You could even throw Santa Mira. I don't know how it would work for the Zot Rot. I guess all the different shapes. There's a lot of things to draw from,
Yeah,
but
Tower
I am
Farm,
Tower Farm, so I imagine they'll just kind of stick with what
Smith's
everybody else is doing.
Grove.
Yeah,
Like, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could head off to California for whatever the H2O location is, whatever the fuck that school was or
yeah.
academy, whatever. Yeah, yeah, it'd be interesting. Um,
So open world where you're Michael Myers and you just kind of have to.
that would be interesting.
I guess that could work. It would be different.
That'd be interesting. Then you end up in Russellville. Like,
Fuck
yeah,
yeah, Eddie Lee's. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That'd be interesting. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We're gonna curb this and let's get to some of the other options. And then we're gonna get to the chat in a minute too. So the other option that we've heard a lot of is TV, right? Streaming TV, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah.
So there was a rumor that I believe has since been debunked that I can't remember if it was Paramount or someone, but someone somehow, this turned into, a six episode deal on Season of the Witch is already in the works, and then that was debunked by like the VP of Trancas, from what I've heard.
Yeah,
Which
but Ryan Freeman, right?
yeah, Ryan Freeman. Yeah, I would have no reason to I would have no reason to think he would he would go out of his way to debunk it. He might not say anything if it's true, but I don't think he'd go out of his way to debunk it. So, so we've had that, but sometimes when there's smoke, there's fire. So the question is, if there's a TV series, what are their options, and is there something that you would be leaning towards?
I lean
Tell us in the
toward.
chat too if you guys would lean towards something.
So I like the idea of a series, but I think it's going to be film. I think it's going to be a film. Okay. Like I hope it's a film. I think they need to reboot, like remake it, the whole thing, start over. You get someone who's not Rob Zombie, who's going to come in here and let's just be honest, that dialogue is just a shit show. And so I took something from Malik. He said he wants to keep the franchise elevated, right?
Yes.
So we've heard
Yes.
rumors of A24, and I want them to do a film, but if you read between the lines, A24, they're obviously doing Crystal Lake.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're the studio that's going to probably win this. Sounds like they're elevated.
Yeah, which is, it surprises me. But I do agree with that. And I can't believe I agree with that. But, from everything I've read and kind of heard, it seems like A24 is, in this game now. And, especially with Crystal Lake, which, the writer's strike really fucked up any updates we could have had on that. But
it wouldn't surprise me if
yeah,
they just cancel that altogether. I don't know. It's weird.
It's very weird. Very, very weird. The timing and nothing else has come out. Like, yeah, I don't know. I would be open to seeing a TV series, but I don't know. I guess I don't know what to do. If it was me, like what I would want in a TV series, I wouldn't want a Loomis backstory. I wouldn't want any of that because, if you do like Loomis with these patients, right? If you do all these patients besides Myers, in order to make that series interesting, you would have to have all these crazy, wild cases that Loomis gets into, and that would defeat, the purpose of the OG Halloween. It'd defeat, Myers was Loomis's white whale. He'd never seen anything crazy like that before. That's why he was so
I like
shocked and
that.
determined to stop him. So yeah, so if Loomis had all these wild, crazy serial killers he was dealing with, it would water down Myers in his eyes. So I wouldn't want to see that. Would I watch it? Well, yes, but I wouldn't want to see that at all, really. But other than that, I'm telling you, I want to keep it simple. Like a lot of people say with Friday the 13th, keep it simple. You got Jason, you got Woods, you got teenagers. You got Myers, you got the night of Halloween, and you got a small town. No Laurie Strode, nothing else connected. Find a town in the early 90s, mid 80s, and have Myers just show up one Halloween morning, and you go. The first episode is, some of the daytime stuff where he's kind of slowly stalking, something like that. Some type of 6-episode miniseries where it's just Myers on Halloween, and you go.
I like Blake's
But I don't
idea.
know.
When
I don't know what
Myers
the
walks in,
longevity is.
when Myers walks into the bar, everyone says, "Hey, Norm, Norm." I like that.
That is good.
So I think I'm gonna go with my shot-for-shot remake idea. Like, let's do an homage to Psycho. They did do a shot-for-shot remake of the first Halloween. Have it end exactly the same way, where the shade falls off the balcony and disappears into the night, and then start over, blank slate. Go wherever you want. No.
Wow.
You don't like it?
No, I don't like it. I don't like it. You wouldn't be able to recreate that sense of dread. You wouldn't really be able to recreate everything. I don't know. Did you like the Vince Vaughn Psycho remake?
It's not bad. I mean,
yeah, it's not. It is what it is.
You
right?
have to get it. You have to get over the fact that it's Vince Vaughn. And Anne Hayes. She didn't exactly. Yeah. I was gonna say Anne Hayes. She didn't exactly set things on fire. So I mean, serviceable
well
remake.
Played. Well played.
Not as like. It's pretty vanilla compared to, say, Rob Zombie's Halloween. I mean, it could work. You just get the right director. I don't know how they would cast this. It's just a whole different ballgame.
Adam Howard makes a good point here. He goes, I hate slasher TV series. Chucky's and Freddy's Deadland right now. Have you even heard anyone talk about the Scream series? I couldn't watch the Scream series, man. It was not good.
No.
And Chucky, I heard Chucky started out decent, and then the second season turned into more Seed of Chucky bullshit. And yeah, you're right. Freddy's Deadland here, and now we got season 3 here coming. But yeah, I guess is a slasher TV series a sustainable option? I don't know. It's hard to say because Scream was it's an MTV show. Chucky is Chucky,
Yeah.
But will Crystal Lake work? We don't know. And
I don't think they want to. That's the problem. They don't know how that's going to work. So what's it going to be, a race to get one or the other out? Like, I think you do Crystal Lake as a TV series, get the rights to Halloween, do some kind of movie, and then keep your options open. Maybe later down the line you can go do that anthology. Like, they need to maximize this. Maybe don't contain it to just Michael Myers. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. What do you think?
What about Byron's idea here? A Hannibal-style TV series revolving around Corey Cunningham. Byron, it's funny. I would watch that. I would absolutely watch that. But I don't think anyone else would. I know people would, but I just don't think it would work.
I like Blake's question. You should take that
Blake's
one.
question. Hey, question, Nick. in the H2O timeline, did Loomis still have a job after Halloween 2? Remember, he was being ordered back to Smith's Grove. Well, that is a really good question. So, did they find out that he killed all those babies? Is the question. That he blew up the hospital. I would say he still had a job. I guess. Well, we know in the timeline, in the David Gordon Green timeline, right? That he did still have a job, right? Because he was still Myers' doctor, right, until he died.
All right.
But I would say he still had a job. Did he have a job between H2 and H4? Yeah, he did. Although it was more like ceremonious, they said, right? Because Hoffman was like, I hope he either something retires or dies. So yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting question. That would be interesting to explore.
Well, we know Loomis didn't read his memos. So
yes, exactly. What about Season of the Witch, bud?
I don't. So
any interest there?
Maybe.
What about this with Season of the Witch? Hear me out on this. So people talk about a remake, right? And in some respects, I agree with them because it'd be cool to see Season of the Witch with a bigger scope, a bigger budget. It would make it seem more realistic. We wouldn't have to deal with time zone. You can answer all those questions, right? But what about this? What about a Season of the Witch legacy sequel where back in 1982 they won?
I got this.
Have the kids are. You got it? Okay, go.
No, you finish, but I got it. I have the answer. You finish. Okay. I have the answer.
Okay. I was just going to say, what about 40 years earlier? That night happened, and half the kids in the fucking world were wiped out by Cochrane and Silver Shamrock, and now 40 years later, the son or daughter of Chalice and Ellie, assuming she wasn't a robot when they banged, the son or daughter is now dealing with like some of Cochrane's goons or some of Cochrane's family who wants to redo the same thing, finish what his grandpa started or something 40 years earlier. What about something like that?
I kind of like that. There are so many possibilities with Season of the Witch, but
what do you got?
Here's the thing we know about Season of the Witch. This was a worldwide event, right? Cochrane was sending out all these commercials, selling all these masks everywhere. So what maybe there's some story in Tucson or some of these other towns we saw where the kids are parading through trick-or-treating. You easily do some kind of like Stranger Things type, all kids cast and throw them into the middle of this. Like they could do something like that.
You could. Yeah, like you said, there's so many possibilities. And yeah, you could have somebody else in another town found out about it, and they had to deal with like one of Silver Shamrock's like other factories in another part of the country or another part of the world, and they were dealing with it just like Chalice was. I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, there's a lot of possibilities. Now, if you dive in too deep into Season of the Witch, you start dealing with questions that are kind of ridiculous, like Stonehenge, like just shit like that people don't really nitpick too much. So there's a lot of continuity shit, like I said, with time zones and if it's going on all over the world, well, okay, it's already Halloween in England, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. There's a little kink in the plan, right?
Yeah, but it's fun enough to just suspend your disbelief and not,
Or how about this? An entire remake, Season of the Witch, set in modern times, where instead of using TV commercials, he's using TikTok.
Cell phones.
Oh, yeah.
TikTok. Or cell phones, like the emergency broadcast thing today.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right though. I think a modern day remake would work more than most.
Ultimately, Nick, Michael Joe put a bow on this. It says, "Fuck Season of the Witch. Michael Myers makes more money." He's right.
Oh, Michael Myers is
They're
absolutely
they're
the
not
brand. Absolutely
negotiating
the
for the
brand.
rights to make Season of the Witch. They're negotiating for Michael Myers. That's it. Plain and simple.
Oh yeah, if you're paying millions of dollars, you're paying for Michael Myers. But there's all kinds of different loopholes in contracts or different types of rights you could buy. But I don't see how you pay a decent chunk of money for something Halloween that isn't Michael Myers. We saw the reaction to Halloween Ends. Michael Myers is still what people want. If it was up to me, I'd personally let the franchise die for another 10 years. But it's not up to me. And I'm here for more Halloween. I'm absolutely here for more Halloween. I'll watch the shit out of anything they produce. But I hope it's good. I hope they get the right creative people involved.
Well, I like the words that you said about elevated. So
Yeah, that I like it, but it also scares me. Like
how could that scare you? Because if you think about it,
being
the
too
original
smart.
Halloween is to me that's elevated.
In 1978, yeah.
Yeah, it's elevated.
Yeah,
20
I just think it could get too smart for its own good. But you and I have kind of talked off air, here and there about this, and I think we both, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're both in agreement that we want something different, right? Not just the same old shit. If I want to see, Michael versus Laurie, I got how many movies to see that?
so
You know,
many.
yeah, way too many.
Three different plot lines, like three
Yeah,
different timelines. Yeah.
yeah. So if they remake it, just remake it with however you want to do it. I don't care, but just give us something a little different. People are going to bitch either way. We absolutely know that. No matter what comes out, people will bitch.
Let's keep it
Sometimes
smart.
I'm one of
Let's
them.
just have it on a couple of streets in a small town in Illinois. The
Yeah,
shape is out. Nobody knows except for Dr. Loomis or whoever. Nobody believes that their little idyllic little town that evil could lurk. Just do that. Let's just elevate that somehow.
that's true. All right, let's get to the chat because we're neglecting you guys, but that's okay. All right, I'm gonna pull up some good ones here. Let's see.
Halloween. Blake's got it. Halloween. Try that in a small town. There you go.
All right, Byron's got one here. Halloween TV series on AMC, basically Bates Motel, but with James McAvoy as the grandson of Dr. Loomis. Something similar to Bates Motel seasons 1, 4, and 5. I've only seen bits and pieces of Bates Motel, but from what I've seen, it's pretty good. Have you seen it all? At all of it?
I never did finish it. I watched the first season, and I don't think I picked it up after the first. It was just
it was
a little
decent.
too slow for me.
Yeah, but I think the essence though of that is what I'd want to see, and what I mean by that is Bates Motel isn't retelling Psycho. Yes, it's kind of a prequel to Norman Bates and stuff, but it's kind of in its own universe. So I'd be down for some type of Halloween series like that, where it's just it's a little bit different of a Halloween universe, and it's someone telling their own spin on something, whether it's a different version of Rob Zombie's Michael backstory or what, but someone's got to do something different.
Oh yeah.
Josh is here. What's up, Josh?
Hopefully we find out in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think we might. Charles says he wants H3 TV series 6 episodes. Charles, we said earlier he was at H45, which I'm jealous of. Charles, that's awesome. Yeah, like I'd be down for it. The thing about a Season of the Witch TV series is, you'd have a lot with a TV series. You'd have a lot of time to flesh things out a little bit. which would be fun. You don't have to rush through things. You could have, an entire episode on, Connell Cochran, coming up with this plan or whatever. An entire episode of just Chalice in the bar, drinking and hitting on chicks, whatever. A TV series would give it a chance to breathe, which would be fun.
Like a
Dude,
different spinoff of
this
Parkland.
This, I think, there was something. Wasn't one of the slasher guys going to have? Wasn't it going to be some trial? I think that might have been a Freddy vs. Jason script I read. There was going to be a trial of Jason was on trial or something like that.
Right? How would that work? Like maggots falling all over the floor? How would I don't? Okay.
Yeah, no shit. All right, here's the one that everyone wants. Byron Weaver says a proper sequel to Halloween 4 with Danielle Harris as an adult Jamie Lloyd. Get Aaron Armstrong to come back as Michael Myers. So the Aaron Armstrong part, I'd definitely be down for that. I thought
Yeah, agreed.
And you could do much worse than that. I am in the minority where I don't want to see a sequel to Halloween 4.
Me either.
I think Danielle Harris, and I love her in Halloween 4. I love her in Halloween 5. Don't tell Mom the babysitter's dead, but I think she just...
What
people put her on a pedestal.
Yeah, what in that scenario would be elevated? That wouldn't be too elevated. It would just be dipping back into the well, right?
Yep.
That tells me that they're going to do something entirely different. It'll be someone else's vision, I think.
It will be, which
someone else's take on the whole thing.
Yeah, it could be a good thing. Like, there's nothing wrong. Like, there's a lot of decent remakes out there. There's a lot of shit. There's much more shit ones, right? But there's a lot of decent remakes out there of popular horror movies or popular horror stories. Some, like you said, but somebody else's vision might not be a bad thing. I'd rather see someone else's vision and have it not succeed than see, Jamie Lee Curtis come back in 10 years, and have a new timeline.
I hope the rumors aren't true about Christopher Nolan and James Bond. I hope it's Christopher Nolan's Halloween.
Dude, could you imagine? What would that be like?
It would be fucking elevated, bro. Elevated.
I mean, that would be like if Steven Spielberg directed Halloween 4, right? Like at the height of his powers.
Probably.
They grabbed Steven Spielberg. Oh, that'd be crazy. I mean, Nolan can do whatever he wants at this point. But like, you could get someone like, I know Flanagan's a Halloween fan.
Right? He might be smart. Maybe if Netflix, maybe A24 partners with, say, Netflix, like that could work with Flanagan, because he's kind of a big deal there right now, I believe.
With Hill House and all that shit that he's done over there.
I would say that would probably fall in the elevated, maybe. I think he does some pretty smart stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Michael
Joe says I do not want to see. Yeah. He doesn't want to see Jamie Lee Curtis back. She ruined the trilogy. She's not a good actor. Overrated. She certainly knows when to come back to the franchise. We'll say that. I think, we've mentioned it before, but I think she had a little too much power behind the scenes, and as this trilogy went on, that's for sure. Won't argue with that.
Happy Madison.
Happy Madison presents Halloween Thorn Origins.
Maybe they should do Tucker and Dale versus Evil, but they're like, they have Michael Myers, they have Jason Voorhees, they have Freddy. Tucker and Dale versus what? Tell me I'm wrong. That would fucking be awesome.
You tell me people wouldn't watch that? They absolutely would.
Absolutely would.
Like,
Like cash in right there and then make your elevated Halloween. Like
I'm
maybe
trying to think of
what
something
if
that
they're
would
looking
piss
to
people off.
what if elevated is to put Michael head to head with somebody like in a Freddy versus Jason? That's kind of elevated, right?
Everything could be elevated in a from a certain point of view, as Obi-Wan would say. But yeah, I don't know. I like you're bordering into okay, you're bordering into what Friday the 13th was. The problem Friday the 13th was having in the late 80s, where it's like, okay, we need to change it up, so we can't get Freddy. So how about Jason versus Carrie? Okay, we still can't get Freddy. How about Jason goes to New York? Okay, that still can't happen. What about now? We just got to send him to hell. You know, you're just bordering into where it's just going to become a parody in and of itself, um, unless you know either let it breathe, or as Shane
Yeah,
Emerson says, let it die,
it needs to die.
or reboot it. You know, and people are going to hate a reboot. Absolutely hate a reboot. You're going to hear people screaming from the top of their lungs. You're going to have people getting on YouTube, like myself. I probably would have a few years ago. I've mellowed out a little bit, and I have some perspective. But I would have got on YouTube and just been ranting and raving, and you know, you're gonna have people crying. You know, people crying. You know, imagine if YouTube was around, and it might have been, but you know, not like it is now. But imagine if YouTube was around in like 2006, when a year before Rob Zombie's remake came out. I remember being in chat rooms, the Ultimate Halloween message board chat room. It was
Oh
like
my god, I was there
just
too.
like a message board. Are you nice, dude?
Oh,
Maybe we interacted.
absolutely. Maybe we
Uh,
did.
maybe we did. My name was Loomis Fan for Life back then.
Oh
Can't
man.
remember my can't remember my password, but I remember people going nuts. Uh, and I was one of them. I was like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" So you know, people are gonna fucking go nuts no matter what. Um, but they'll get over it. Look how fast. Look at people have gotten over Rob Zombie's movie. Not everyone, but like I have. You know, it happened. So what? It's on to the next
Believe
one. You know, now we can
believe it
be
or
mad
not,
at the new thing.
so I see a lot of people talking about Pinhead. Believe it or not, there is a path for Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, and Jason Voorhees to share the screen. There is a path for that right now.
And what's that?
Friday the 13th, the Freddy's rights are up. They're right.
Oh yeah,
So
yep.
A24 picks up, you have the rights to Jason, the rights to Michael Myers to pick up Freddy. There's a path. We could get the dream team. That would be awesome. Just to do something fun. Like, I don't know.
It, it would be fun. You know, like I still like I don't think Freddy vs. Jason's a great movie or anything, but it was kind it's kind of like a love letter to the fans, right?
Wouldn't it be cool to see like we had Monster Squad with Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman.
Yeah,
Wouldn't it be cool just to do something fun where you could just see all of our favorite fucking horror villains in the same movie? Just once. One time.
I don't see it happening.
I don't either. But it could. Like there's a path for that to
It could.
happen.
It absolutely could, and probably a better path than there's ever been. You know, uh, who knows? Maybe it will happen at some point. It'd be fun. Not everything has to be fucking serious. You know, where it's like, you know, not everything has to be Halloween '78. At this point, if I want to watch Halloween '78, if I want to watch a movie like that, I'll just put on Halloween '78. You know, I
Blake,
still,
that's exactly what I'm talking about.
yeah, modern or day villains.
It's
Yep.
too bad about Bruce Willis. We could put like John McClane and John Rambo against fucking Jason, Freddy, and Michael.
Or the Expendables, where they run into, yeah,
Dude, dude, I think we're cracking the nut on this finally. I think we found the way forward.
it'd be fun. Michael says a reboot to Resurrection with Dangertainment, Decker, and Busta. This movie was a perfect product, much better than 78. Oh man, could you imagine? Could you imagine the backlash? Could you imagine if Busta Rhymes showed up to H45? Oh, it'd be hilarious.
How come he wasn't there? Like, I need to see the list of
man.
everyone that was there. It had to be.
Yeah. There's a shit ton. Like there's a shit ton from like the new trilogy. Even like the nurse and doctor were there from Kills. Aaron, the podcasters were there from H18. There was tons of people. What's her face? The chick that got the Sandra, the chick that got her neck, the fluorescent light through the neck. She was there. Yeah, like there's tons of people from.
Was
from
the
those
guy
movies.
the Phelps garage guy laying in the grass? Was he there? Maybe.
No, Freddie Mercury.
Like,
No,
how's how's that guy not there?
Right? Nancy Stevens was there. It's crazy. What's her face? Annie was there. Charles Cypress was supposed to be there, but apparently he got sick, which makes sense because he's pretty old.
God, he just probably didn't want to say everyone's entitled to one good scare 1,000 times over a weekend.
Oh God!
Yeah. Why would he want to subject himself to that?
Yeah, it looked like the fans had fun, but it's almost like I guarantee these actors hear the same thing, like you said, from.
I think I'm gonna have to break down and go to one of these conventions just so I can see all the virginity walking around, just the cringe.
These are our people, man.
I know, man, but when I see people dressed up as Michael Myers and just, oh my God, it's so cringe sometimes. It's a little much for me.
As we both sit on YouTube with backgrounds of horror stuff.
But you're never gonna see. You're never gonna see me walking around in a Michael Myers getup. It's never gonna happen.
You're never gonna scare your neighbors, scare the neighbor kids. Pop out of a bush in a Myers mask.
No.
Okay.
Definitely never gonna be photographed. Like that might be fun, but just to have someone like take pictures and post that, like, come on. Nobody ever looks like the Shape. Nobody. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I offended anybody who does that. I'm sorry.
They're having fun. If anyone's offended, they'll get over it. I know you don't mean anything by it. But yeah, I want to try to get to H50. I'm hoping all these actors, in 5 years, a lot of these actors could, drop dead, unfortunately. That's why I'm a little bummed I wasn't able to go to H45, but H50 would be cool, especially just because all the locations are there too, right? Like, I need to be by the hedge. I need to see
cringe
some of those locations. What, the hedge stuff?
Just people dress like it has to be annoying if you live there.
Oh,
you have all these clowns fucking taking pictures at the hedge. So I'm gonna tell you a true story. Okay, remember Breaking Bad? I know you're a huge fan.
Yeah, of course I do.
So I went to Denver, trekked through, and then when I came back, me and a friend, we went to Albuquerque, and we went to all of the. Sorry, man, why was my fucking hand up there? I'm sorry. So we went to all the Heisenberg places, and we went to the Heisenberg house, and I talked to the guy that lives there, and he told me that he cleans pizzas off of his roof.
Pizzas, yep.
Like every day. He said he fucking hated it, and that's kind of like, now I get it. So I would never do that to somebody. Never.
You're telling me you're in Pasadena. You're not going to go sit on the stoop where Jamie Lee Curtis sat.
No, I'm never doing that again. Like, I went to Hank's house, dude.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
We went to every fucking place, dude, and then when I talked to that guy that lives at the Walter White's house, I felt awful. I have a picture of me, which I'll share with you, standing in front of Heisenberg's house.
So okay. So other than Breaking Bad, does any other like movie franchise have fans that go take pictures at all these locations? I don't know.
There has to be maybe Amity.
Yeah, maybe. I think it helps that it's all right in a few block radius in Pasadena, right? And most movies, especially nowadays, are on location or not really on location. It's a back lot for the most part or something like that. Um,
There you go.
but
See the film locations, but don't fucking put on a mask and just like definitely don't go throw pizzas on people's roof. Don't do that.
Adam says a guy got arrested walking around as Michael Myers. Michael takes the beach. I saw that. That was funny. That was funny. Yeah, I would love to, just be by the hedge though. That'd be cool. You know, Haddonfield Memorial would be cool to see, right? The hospital where they filmed that.
Yeah. I mean, it would be cool to see
I
these
think,
places, but I looked all over for Los Pollos Hermanos, and
oh,
it's just a painting on a wall, man.
that
Pretty
sucks.
sad. It's called Twisters.
That sucks. In Albuquerque?
Albuquerque, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I found went to Jesse Pinkman's house, went to Walter White's house, went to Hank and Marie's house, went to where they filmed Los Pollos Hermanos, the inside. It's a place called Twisters, and then on the wall, just has the Los Pollos Hermanos logo. Went to the place where the vacuum cleaner guy picks up. Like I went to that.
Yeah.
It was
Robert
all
Forster.
over,
Yeah.
man. Yeah. I
It's
mean, it was
cool.
cool, but I felt bad for those people who live in that house, man. I really did. So I can't imagine what these
Well,
people who live in front of the hedge, what they deal with on a daily basis.
I know I can't remember if it's a Strode house. I think it's a Strode house. They used to have like a pumpkin out and a little like place where you could take your picture, and there's a little sign there that said please enjoy blah blah blah, and they were very nice about it. And then people started smashing the pumpkin and shit like that, and now there's new owners, so they have like can't remember if they have a gate or something now, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
But I think you know I don't know why you buy that house if because
Yeah.
us Halloween fans are a little nuts sometimes. So yeah, like you said, it's not just like during H45, and that happens probably every single day of the year. Somebody comes
Hmm.
by there. It's crazy.
Well, what does that have to do with
Um,
the future of Halloween?
it was people were doing it at H45, and they were talking about H40, the future of Halloween at H45. That's what.
I wonder if they're like homeless encampments on the same street as the Doyles and the Wallaces now. We're stepping
Could
over
be.
like
I think the
tweakers,
Elm Street house is right around the corner there too.
right? Wow, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
that is
Crazy.
crazy. All right, so if what would you want to see next though for Halloween, to get back on track here before we start wrapping up? If
I,
you could only choose one option, what would you want to happen if they could only do one thing?
mm, video game, because it's a space that they really haven't explored. I'm gonna say video game.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like you said, it's something that has been explored to be new. It would be pretty damn successful, I would think, depending on, the
Yeah.
budget they get for it and things like that. I think most people that are fans of Halloween, maybe not most, but a large chunk of people that are fans of Halloween, uh, like playing video games, right? And
Yeah.
enjoyed the Friday the 13th game, and at least tried out the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, because I know it's still relatively new. But I think people will be down for that. I agree with you. For me, I'd probably want a TV series. What kind of TV series though, other than stuff I had mentioned earlier? I
You probably want Shonda
don't
Rhimes
know.
presents Smith's Grove. That's what you want.
Who's Shonda Rhimes?
She does Grey's Anatomy and Bridgerton.
Yeah, drama. Some type of drama at Smith's Grove.
Yeah.
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 Um, no, I don't. I'd want Myers.
You want Myers?
Yeah, I want Myers. I want Myers. Um, no, I guess I'd want a new vision of Myers. I still want it to be someone that's evil, and we don't really get a reason behind it. You know, but I want someone creative, someone obviously more creative than me, but some type of new vision of Myers. Whether that means
A different
he
look?
doesn't
Like,
kill. Maybe a different look. Sure, sure. I'd be cool with that. Use a clown mask. Do I think
so
people would be pissed about it? Yeah.
I think if they do go the remake route, they need to not try to make the characters say they bring Loomis back.
Yeah.
It cannot be a fucking try to embody Donald Pleasance's version.
Right. Yes.
It needs to
Agreed.
be completely off the reservation from that.
Yeah. Have it be a woman or something, right?
Nah, I don't know about that. Just get a really good actor like Donald Pleasance and just no, wait a minute. I just fucking like a Donald Pleasance is a good actor, right? Get a good actor
Yeah.
and let them do like don't do like Roddy McDowell did. Don't get a British guy. Just let someone run wild with
Yeah.
it.
You're not emulating Donald Pleasance's Dr. Loomis. This is just a new version of Dr. Loomis in this world, whether it's played by, I saw someone online, someone saying Hugh Jackman or something, but whether it's, someone that's not just like you said, some British guy. If you have, someone, a police chief, he doesn't have to emulate Charles Brackett. He doesn't have to, have sideburns and look like he's 20 years older than he actually is. You know, get a babysitter, whatever. Don't make her like Laurie Strode. Don't do it because you're always going to be compared to these other people. This is new. Uh, you know, if you're not going to go a different route, if you're not, then don't do shit. You know,
How about what's
You-
Benedict Cumberbatch doing these days?
I would assume more Doctor Strange shit. I don't know.
What about him, Doctor Loomis?
He's a good actor. He's a good actor. He's definitely a good actor. I'd be down for that. A Loomis with hair would be different, but yeah.
It's like a young Loomis, younger. Like I think they need to get somebody young, someone who could pass as say they said it in '63, someone who could pass and then age a little bit, 15 years more, whatever it is. James Jude Courtney is Dr. Loomis.
What about this? We've heard rumblings about this before. I mean, use the flashback.
Two more movies.
Would you
and
want to
use
see
everyone?
some?
No,
No.
no.
Yeah, I would love to see it. Right. I would love to see more of that flashback story, or some type of expanded like that. But it was so special and so not perfect, but it was so good that I kind of just want to let it be. Like, let us have that, and let's not water it down with more. But that's the same shit I was saying before they even did the flashback. So what do I know? I'd be very intrigued by that idea. I'll say that.
What about
Uh,
Michael Myers
what
lives in a high rise, something like that?
I think that was the original idea for Halloween 2, right?
Halloween. It was. You're
Yeah,
right.
and Laurie moves to Chicago. Is that it? Yeah, in Chicago high
In
rise.
Chicago, right?
I think it was also Friday the 13th Part 3
And he
idea.
stole
Yeah.
the shape steals a Porsche and has like driving gloves. I remember reading that and taking shape. I think it was 2.
Okay. Interesting. That'd be fun. That'd be different, right?
And Loomis
Think
is
about the
there.
floors of a high
Yeah.
rise.
Yeah.
The floors of a high rise, that would be very, very interesting. Have a little Poltergeist 3 feel to it. But it'd
Yeah.
be interesting.
He says Michael Joe would love for Nick to put me on this live stream.
Yeah. Should
What
be
about
no
if they?
nuclear. The same killer, Michael.
So did you see this thing where they're gonna re-release the novelization of the original Halloween, and they're gonna let some
No.
artist? It's I think they unveiled it. You can order it. I need to get the pre-order. But all the people that have the old Halloween novelizations that are selling them for $300-400, too bad for them. So everybody will be able to buy the original Halloween novelization, but it'll have illustrations, and I think it'll be interesting. I pre-ordered it. I think it comes out at January. I think that was another thing. Michael Myers
Interesting.
goes to
Why?
Hawaii like
Why
a
would they
Brady
do that?
Bunch.
Oh,
Why
see,
not?
now that'd be fun. That would be fun.
And it was
Like,
the
would I want to see
shape that
that?
pulled
No.
Greg
Would
Brady
it be
under the
funny?
wave, right?
Or maybe he started the Maui fires.
Nick, did you ever watch the Brady
Of
Bunch?
course I did, and
Right?
I remember the Hawaii stuff.
You
Yeah.
remember when they went to Hawaii and then Greg Brady, they had the cliffhanger where he was surfing, he fell off the surfboard. Yeah.
No.
You don't
No.
remember that? Like they had a
No.
cliffhanger and nobody knew if Greg Brady was alive. But he was all right.
I love
He was
old.
all right.
I love old TV
No
like
big
that,
deal.
man. It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell of a cliffhanger. Yeah. I don't know. I guess kind of the moral of what we're, you know, talking about today in a roundabout way is there are plenty of options, right, for the Halloween franchise to go. A lot of good ones, a lot of not so good ones, but the Halloween franchise will live on. I'm a little surprised, are you, Bud, that we got news, at least public news, of the fact that they're moving forward so quickly. I didn't expect it this year. Did you?
If you watched Nick and Bud, I called this. I said they were going to move on this fast. Like, why would I know a lot of people said,
You did
"Oh,
say
they're going
that.
to wait till 78." No way. You can't sit on this. You have to maximize your intellectual property. There'll always be someone that wants to do it, and I knew they would not wait.
Yeah, I mean, you got to strike while the iron's hot, right? I mean,
Yeah, right.
especially knowing that Blumhouse was done, right?
Yeah,
So even before Halloween ends, we heard that the rights were being, shopped around a little bit, right?
right,
But
right.
um,
And
but
I
I was
think
just surprised an
everybody
article got
was
dropped.
thinking that Paramount would snap it up, but I don't know. We'll see. Doesn't sound like it,
Yeah,
but
yeah. The A24 stuff is really intriguing. I'll say that.
yeah, I don't. They're obviously they're up to something with the Crystal Lake. Now this,
Yes.
and then throw Freddy's. Something could be coming together.
Yeah. I hope that they do a TV series, and I hope they do this with Crystal Lake too. And I'm not optimistic that they will, but I hope. Obviously, it's going to come out on streaming, right? I hope they drop one episode a week and not just the entire season. You know, I miss those days when you had to wait a week for something, and then it'd give us a chance to watch an episode, and then we get on YouTube and we can talk about it, right? That'd be
All
more
right.
fun than just dropping the whole season, or all at once, where you just go through 10 hours or 8 hours or whatever it is. Uh let's go every week. Hey, Pat's here. Pat with that H45. Saw pictures of
Mhm.
him with Frank and Darren. He says the
Cool.
Halloween game that Malik talked about, he promised will be amazing. Okay, so there we go. Straight from the horse's mouth.
There we go.
And if you know Pat, he will have that game, because Pat has anything that's ever been created for the franchise. But Pat, it looked like you and Brett were having fun out there. Looked like a blast.
Yeah, man. I wish I could have. One of these days, I need to do one of these conventions, man. I just need to
Yeah,
experience it.
yeah. Although you're just shitting on everyone.
I didn't mean to, man.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Some people just take it
So,
way
yeah.
too far. Like
Some people take everything way too far.
I don't understand people doing like engagement photos where they're like holding hands, looking at each other lovingly, and then there's some fat guy dressed as Michael Myers and like standing back. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Pat, what'd you do? Take a piece of siding?
I have a piece of the Doyle house.
How are they gonna heat that place? You took a brick or something, and
Yeah, maybe a shingle blew off the roof. I don't know.
not gonna lie, that's kind of cool. Yeah, but yeah, like we're talking about, there's so many options. It's cool that we're gonna be getting stuff, even though like in a perfect world, I'd love to let this thing rest. But you know, it will never die. Michael Myers and Jason and Freddy, they're always going to be around, just like Dracula and Wolfman and the Mummy, all those guys.
Yeah.
So what else you got coming up, bud, on your channel? It's October. I assume you got something coming in the works within.
Well, I think I'm gonna be on
months
Blake and
in.
Ronnie's channel here in a couple of days. I think both of us are, right?
Yes.
I think
Yes, pretty soon.
I think maybe Sunday. So looking forward to that.
Yep.
As far as my channel, I think I don't know, man. I hope to be able to do something within the next couple of weeks, but work has just been so crazy.
Life
And
happens, man.
It's been really tough. I wanted. I know I need to do Halloween Resurrection. I was building up to actually just gonna do the original Halloween, break that down completely.
Let me tell you
High
something, bud.
res shots.
Let me
Yeah,
give you some advice here.
give me some. Let me hear it.
Here's my advice to you. It's your channel. You can do whatever the fuck you want. That's the glory of having your own YouTube channel, is you can do whatever the fuck you want within reason. So do whatever the hell you want to do, whatever you're feeling. You don't have to go to Resurrection. If you want to do the original, do the original. Who cares?
No, I'm doing
Right.
Resurrection. We have to. I have to. I need to have Bronny and Blake on so we can absolutely bash the shit out of that movie.
That would be fun. I'd watch that.
So when Ronnie and Blake can, make it work, we're gonna do that. We're gonna just go to town on that thing because it deserves it. It does. Or we could talk
do it.
Breaking
I'd
Bad,
love
Blake.
to-
We could
love
do
to
that
watch
as
that.
well. Yeah, we could do that.
If you guys talk Breaking Bad, I need in on that.
Let's do it. Let's do a 4-man stream. We'll break it all down, man. Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. Yeah, I'm
I don't
totally
think Ronnie
down.
gives a fuck. That's a problem.
Well, then it'll be the three of us. Whatever. There's just some people that don't know. Don't be stubborn.
Yeah,
Just watch Breaking Bad and just have your mind blown. Just do it.
that is true. That is true. All right. Well, my mind is blown right now because I'm tired and I want to get to bed.
Let's go to bed. Not
Let's
together.
go to bed.
but-
So,
yeah.
oh, you got me excited for a second.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry, man.
All right. Well, appreciate everyone tuning in. We'll be back soon. It's October. Going to try and get a lot of stuff out here. Work's been crazy. If you are a channel member, I did not forget about you. The raffle was supposed to come out on Sunday on the 1st. I'll be getting it out tomorrow. So keep your eyes out for that. Thanks for watching, everyone. Go check out Bud's channel, The Shape of Horror Podcast. Check out Blake and Ronnie's channel. All the good names are taken. Pat, Halloween Movie Collectors in the house. Check out his channel. Anyone else I missed, check out their channels too. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Good night, everybody.